The history of New York City is rife with disaster, death, murder, mayhem. You have 4 centuries of that accumulated weight of life and death and all of that psychic upheaval concentrated in a very small space. Washington Square Park is a notorious hidden graveyard. A lot of people already know this, but you have somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 people buried under that site on the eastern half of Washington Square. In the late 18th century, almost every summer with frightening and deadly regularity, these epidemics would be visited on the city, particularly yellow fever, also typhus, cholera. So between approximately 1797 and 1823, you had a mass grave, a potter's field, with layers and layers of enshrouded corpses piled under what is now Washington Square Park. And there's just a very thin layer of turf and grass separating you from all those bodies, which is something to think on next time you're enjoying your dosa or your falafel in Washington Square Park. The Dakota is a very notoriously haunted building. It's haunted not only in the traditional sense of having ghosts and apparitions, but it's also haunted by a lingering memory that I think all New Yorkers are familiar with. And this is, of course, the horrible shooting of John Lennon.
The former Beatle, who was 40, was hit by several bullets as he and his wife, Yoko Ono, were returning from a recording studio.
There are certain people who go so far as to also say that John Lennon's spirit has been seen there. It's unconfirmed by Yoko Ono herself, but there's a lot of people who say that she has communicated with John Lennon's presence. He is in his old apartment, seated at his piano, wearing white. And then you have all of those years of rumors, particularly from caretakers or elevator operators or people who lived in the building. There's a story of a little girl. She's wearing, some people say a yellow dress, some say a white dress, and it has a vaguely 19th century appearance. She's bouncing a red ball in some of these stories, and she's saying, sometimes happily, sometimes sadly, it depends on who you talk to, "It's my birthday today," which is a very sad and creepy thing for a little 6-year-old ghost girl to say. 12 Gay Street is probably one of my favorite haunted houses in all of Manhattan. Gay Street, first of all, is just an adorable little street, this crooked, curving, pretty little street in the West Village. Number 12 is an adorable little house. It dates from probably about the 1830s or so. Right about the 1920s, like every other house in New York City, it becomes a speakeasy, and it's known as the Pirate's Den. The house would pass into the hands of Jimmy Walker, the mayor of New York City. So he has this mistress, this showgirl named Betty Compton, and he buys the house for her, I believe in 1930 or 1931. There's a story that there was a lover's quarrel on the roof one day, and one of her showgirl friends leapt or fell or was pushed to her death. So the party is so great that apparently the guests are still there and they're still lingering. There's one who apparently stands in the window, one of the front windows on the first floor of 12 Gay Street. And he's there in his evening dress and he's waving people in, like, come and join the party, which is a terrible idea. If you're ever invited to a ghost party that never ends, don't go. People, of course, assume it's Jimmy Walker. It's probably not him. No one's ever been able to make any direct connection. There's no likeness. We don't have any images of the ghost that I have ever found to be verifiable. But you know, it's a good guess. It could be him. It could be one of his guests. Happy Halloween.